Hello, and welcome back to Car Mechanic Simulator 2015. It is actually 2016 now, but it's February. They've just released their latest DLC, which has taken them months and months and months. Mercedes-Benz. So there you go, it's slightly more expensive than the others. Also, it's got 2 cars in it, and there's a few other fixes to various other bits of the game. Apparently, they've also added 1 or 2 new things. Nothing major yet, and they are still working on some other bits and pieces. So more to come. So there we go, Car Mechanic Simulator 2015. So, let's continue and see where we left it. Does anyone remember? Alright, well it certainly takes its sweet time to load still. So here we are, things as we left them. Everything looks much the same. There may be some more advertising, or is it just that I don't remember the advertising from before. Okay, so this is one of our new tools, repair body frame. Okay. Now I think this is something to do with the fact that when you go to the auction, cars are now rusty all over rather than just on certain panels. So this is this might be to repair parts of the body that you can't remove. I think that's the shtick anyway. I'm not quite sure. So anyway, we have to try and find a Mercedes-Benz car to work on. So let's see if there's any on the here. There you go, there's words. So let's decline these jobs. If you decline them one at a time, you get them back much quicker, because the first one comes back almost instantly. There we go. And then you have to wait quite a while for the rest. So it might actually be easier for us to go to the auction. I've got some cash, so let's just see what the next job is. I don't know if it's me or whether it is actually just longer for the second job to come back. Something else I read in the updates that they've released with the DLC is that they've updated the auctions, so you can see how many cars are available and what they're going to be, which is something I've been asking for a while. And they also randomised the selection, so for instance you don't get like 2 Malaks on the trot, or at least they'll be... I assume that's what they mean. Either that or they make sure they've got very different problems, so at least if it is the same car it's very different. They've done something anyway to make it less samey. Anyway, this is just taking too long. Let's go to the auction. And I can sit and watch the load screen for bloody ages. Right, okay. Old fast. I wonder if they're going to put the new fast user mods. No, nothing there yet. Alright, so let's go to the auction. There we go. Alright, so here we can see the list. So there we go, number 10, look, is finally going to be the Mercedes-Benz, or one of the Mercedes-Benz. So, I can't remember what other cars I need, so I should have them written down somewhere. I'm sure it's not a Salem Spectre though, so let's go to the next car. Amusingly, I don't think I actually do have a Spectre in my garage. I have a Spectre Fastback. So there you go. Anyway, I don't want an M6. I don't have one of them either, actually. Wow. It couldn't be that they're actually looking at what you've got and giving you a selection of stuff you haven't got, because that would actually be useful. Secura GT20, that didn't take forever to load up. I've definitely got one of them. Okay, so I didn't look at the... Yeah, okay, so you can see the rusting look is all on these bits that you can't swap, so that's presumably what that new tool is for. That does look much better than it used to. Okay, Castor Earthquake Rex. Yeah, I do have one of these. Yeah, the rust looks quite good now. 'Cause it used to look very, very stylised before, which wasn't a problem. Okay, and a Delray Custom. Believe I have one of those. Yeah, wow, look at that rusty piece of rubbish. It's almost tempting to buy it just to sell it for profit. I wonder if they've changed the bidding algorithm. Didn't look like it. Alright now, mate. Of course, the best part will be when I get to the Mercedes-Benz and it's much more expensive than I can afford. Oh dear. Alright, anyway, we don't want this. What was this again? Oh, yeah, mine M8. Don't have one of them either, an M6 from M8. Well, I say that. I've got my written list here, but there's space here that I haven't filled in. I'm going to stop looking at this list. I need to fill it in again, because I think at the end of when I was playing it before, I just put in some cars to fill up the third garage. Anyway, never mind. We're just filling time till we get to the Mercedes, really. Of course, I could cut straight to the Mercedes, or me failing to buy it, but, you know, where would the fun in that be? Oh, look at this horrible colour. This. Okay, so the next car is the one we want. The Excitement Mounts. Now, one of them's a Gullwing as well, so I don't know which one's... I don't know anything about cars. Okay, finally. Okay, so this stuff's got an orange stripe. All the DLC things have different colour stripes, it seems. Oh, that's a fairly boring looking car. Okay, so I guess the other one, whatever it is the Gullwing. There's only two. Okay, so it's looking nice and pricey, but it should be affordable, even if it doubles in price. Okay. Come on now. 24, yeah, I'll do. No one needs to spend any more money. Yeah, no, stop it. You get the next one. I'm in a rush. I need to buy this one. And he's in quite good nick as well. I mean, quite honestly, I prefer one that was 1 star. And it's a shame this couldn't be a bit more like Auto Trader, where you can put in what you're looking for and it comes up with some options, you know, and then you can try and bid the guy for them. Oh god, this is getting quite expensive. I know I said that even if it doubles in price I can still afford it, but it's getting to the point where you think, well, is it going to stop? Oh, hey! Just 48 grand. Alright, well our work here is done anyway, so we can head back to the auction. Not to the auction, where oh, quit. Oh, I've crashed it. Just confused it. Okay, here we are back at the garage with our nice shiny new car. It's fairly horrible looking wheels. So there we go. So it's been months since I've done anything to the game, or with the game rather, to the game. Whoop. So it's like sitting in a Mercedes, apparently, automatic, left wheel drive. I don't really like Mercedes. Sorry about that. Right, yeah. Okay, so let's take off all the bodywork that we can remove. That's usually our first gambit. That's the radiator. There we go, so that's all the bodywork. Now we can try fixing that and putting it back on, and all the bodywork is done, or at least done as we can make it. So, whoops, let's go over here. Do the fixie bench, that's what they call it. You managed to repair the... Oh god, there's a way of doing this. It's shift click. Yeah, there we go. We don't have to worry about the dialogue box then, which is much nicer. Oh, I thought I was going to get through all of it without breaking a single piece. That would have been a first. Alright, so then we can replace that. How do we... F2? No, just 2. There we go. It really has been quite a while, considering how much I've played this game. Right, okay. Currently, just to show the difference, I've been playing just finished Syndicate on the Xbox, and I'm now playing Just Cause 3. So slightly different style game to Car Mechanic Simulator. The skills don't really translate. Right, so I guess the bonnet goes all the way over the top there. Look, it has the grill and that on it as well. Okay, so there we go, that looks quite nice. Now there's some rust on the bits that we can't fix, so I think this is this new tool, so let's go and see what happens with this. Oh, okay, so you just click on the frame for 2 grand, oh, I guess. It's expensive, but there you go. So now it is all shiny, look. Even the wheels. Oh no, just the wheels on that side were a bit shiny. So there we go, so that's shone up all the exterior. So now we need to move it over to there. Move vehicle, M. Slight learning the game again. Alright. So So here we are. So what we're going to do is the usual. We're going to turn this rusty bucket into a 100% bucket, and oh, there we go. And that's the plan. Now it'll be a little bit more painful than it has been in the past because I am so out of practice. So set yourselves ready for that. Also, of course, it's a new engine. Potentially, I assume it's a new engine. So that might obviously cause some problems. This is all quite different to normal. Distribution cover, cap and cables. So it's a similar technology, just different setup to usual distributor. Old style engine. Non-injection, I think that's the word I'm looking for. Alright, that's all that. Oh, take off this manifold thingy. What was that? Intake? No. Don't know what that was. This is the intake manifold though. Ah, yeah. It's got a horrible look to it. Alright, so then we've got the cylinder head covers. So it's a V6 or 8, probably a V8. I think it's Mercedes. So it's got 4 tubes there, so it's presumably an 8. Oh, it's one of these irritating millions of shaft caps. What are these called again? Camshaft bearings. Oh, okay. Whatever. So now we can... Oh, wow, look at this. Timing chain in cops. Because usually the timing chain is just for one side of the engine, but this one's for both sides. That's it's also unusual. Alright, so I have to take off the other side too. I have to take off the front actually, won't we, as well, to get to the timing chain. Still, I have to get all these crankshaft bearing caps off first. There we go. So the hope is now that there's going to be slightly more frequent updates to Car Mechanics 2016, or that they'll announce perhaps that they're going to start work on 2017, although I think people would like them to do more to this one first. I'm split, because really I want better progression mechanics. I'd like to start off with mechanics, yeah. I'd like to start off with you know, like a small garage that you can only do a little bit of work on, and then you have to choose, do I want to buy a ramp so that I can do some underside work more easily, or do I buy, you know, like a paint spray room and then maybe be able to do some fancy paint spraying, you know, so it's not just painting the car a colour, it's more like a customs decal paint shop that you've opened, so that you can maybe design your own decals. I don't want to design my own decals, but people will, and you can have those as mods that you can apply to other people's games, you know, that'd be a nice thing to be able to do. And so yeah, so generally there'd be a bit more of a, I suppose, what you'd class as a roleplay mechanic, progression mechanic, sorry, sort of holding the whole thing together. So in this, basically, you start off with everything in your garage already. I mean, no, yes, you have to unlock it, and that unlocking is a bit weak, because very quickly you've unlocked everything, there's nothing else to do. But, you know, it just felt a little bit, I want to sort of build into it, or maybe choose how to grow my garage, and then people can say, oh, my garage looks like this, and I've got that, and, you know, I chose to go this route, and I don't know. Anyway, so, anyway, as long as they're still working on more of the same sort of thing, I think people will be generally happy. So why can't I remove this yet? Oh yeah, I've got the exhaust manifold to take off. So that's the hope anyway, and like I said, it's been quite a while coming, because after the game dropped, sort of almost a year ago now, sort of March, was it? March, April time? They were, for every couple of months there was an update, so it was pretty, it felt like they were on top of it, and then there's been quite a delay for this Mercedes-Benz DLC, and it's their first car manufacturer that's been included with, you know, that's involved in the game, so they obviously wanted to get it right. They've got other, part makers involved with the game, but I guess that's much easier to be right. You only have to get like a particular sort of part right, or maybe just include their advertising. Maybe they don't actually have their parts reproduced in the game. Whereas the Mercedes-Benz DLC, obviously Mercedes will want their cars to look right, and they'll have very specific wants about how accurate it is and stuff, so that's probably taken them a lot longer than perhaps they expected, I don't know. Anyway, here's hoping that now they've cleared that out of the way, that there'll be more regular updates or something else that they'll be working on. And also they'll tell us about it, because they did go sort of silent for quite a while when they started doing this DLC, which is a bit of a shame. Keep in touch with your peoples, that's the the usual request. Just let us know, even if it's just like a 2-line, you know, status update. Right, so I've stripped most of the sort of upper engine off. Oh, it's got a starter motor. I don't have to do that from underneath. So now we have to start lifting it up and fiddling about. So let's do that. Stick it up in the air. Now, anyone who's watched any of my videos before, that might not be many of you, will know that I got a bit of a bee in my bonnet, and you might have thought, hey, perhaps he's forgotten about that problem because it's been so long. So I did used to go on about it all the time. Now, you'll notice that I've changed the colour of my hazard striping to orange. And all the reflections, of course, which are quite numerous in this game, still reflect the yellow and black of the original stripes. Which is very poor, I find. Right, let's take off the wheels, give us access to the brakes and undercarriage. Nothing's changed here, it's all the same as it has been forever. So yeah, none of this looks like it's been designed specifically for the Mercedes. This is all... oops. I always forget these bloody links. Everything seems the same. Okay, these springs look slightly different, but generally speaking, it all seems the same. There we go. That's one side removed. Now it's a black wheel. Alright. Yep. Hey. Remembering how to do it. Remembering. I don't remember how to do it. There we go, we do really. It's kind of muscle memory, some of this. Alright. Tie rods. Lower member. That's your knuckle. Alright, so that's all that shenanigan. So I have to take out the... I have to remove the bush. It's still worth a chuckle after all these years. Well, I say years, hours. All these hours of single entendre. It doesn't get old, apparently. Right. Okay, so that's all of the steering at the front. Can we take? Oh, you can take off these because we've got rid of the... Oh, that's a different exhaust piece. Look at the joint middle bit. That was faintly exciting. Right, so V8 starter motor. Let's take off this drive shafton. Oh, almost had it. Oh, there we go. Let's find the hot spot. Alright, one drive shaft removed. Okay, let's go back up here. Let's get this gearbox off now. The black hole of the starter motor bit. So there we go, that was the gearbox. OVH, OHV even. Alright. And then this all is the same, all the clutchy bits. The flywheel comes out. Can we remove the crankshaft? No, not yet. Alright, so let's get the... no, don't do that yet. But we do need to move the oil thing next, so we need to remember our oil buddy. Where's he? Come on, oil buddy. Oh, these are new, aren't they? ISO oil. Is that new? Ah, these are new. Just plug and play. That's nothing to do with cars. Oh, maybe it's in car entertainment. ICE. This is what happens when you have it in low quality. It means you can't read the advertising. No bad thing. Oh yeah. Oh, I've got the oil drain. I forgot about that. So now, occasionally the new cars have oil drain issues. Now the old technique is to sort of get it just underneath here. Let's double check that it's lined up. Oh, it's not really, is it? And then of course when you pick it up it moves. Watch. I'm pushed up against it as far as I can, and I click on it and it moves towards me. So let's be on it and remove ourselves. Was that better? Yeah, that looks okay. Right, so let's try it. Whoops. No. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Oh, hardly any oil in there. Awesome. Right, there we go. So that's that drained. Now we can remove the oil pan. pan without getting ourselves covered in sticky goo. As the actress said to the bishop, there we go, it's another old trope. You can't have a joke. Try your hardest and force it anyway. Okay, let's take off the crankshaft bearing caps. Look at this horrible texture here for this sort of rusty edge. I suggest you go and fix that, because that's a tiny little texture repeated, and that never looks good. It didn't look good in 1980 when there was no option. Looks even worse now when there is an option. Okay, so now I need to move the engine up and down to get all the bits out. What the hell is that? Exhaust resonator. Well, certainly different. Okay, let's attack the rear suspension and drive stuff. What do you call it? I don't know. Suspension. Is that what I said? Let's call it that. You know, for the sake of argument. Right, let's... oh, you have to take the axles out, of course. Remembering. Alright, so take out your bush. Just makes me want to sing the... well, okay, I won't sing, don't worry, before you start turning off. It makes me want to sing the theme tune to Only Fools and Horses. Yeah. If you don't know what Only Fools and Horses is, then you're probably from a different country, and it probably won't mean much to you. It's a long-running, or used to be a long-running comedy, starring one of our, you know, our famous national actors. You probably no one from the different countries ever heard of. Anyway. What's connected to this still? Oh, it's got a tiny rubber bush. I remember that causing me problems when I first discovered that. Long time ago, in a different reality for my brain. Well, these wheels actually have Mercedes branding on them. I hadn't noticed amongst all the gunk on them. Axle, and then the wheel hub bearing. There we go. Oh, so these suspension coils are yellow, aren't they normally red? And so that might be a difference. It's not a huge one. As the actress said to the bishop. Oh my god, I should come up with a better denouement for my joke. My joke, that's right, yes, my one joke. My solitary joke, which is to make everything sound like someone said it to someone else as a double entendre, well, single entendre, as I mentioned earlier. Doesn't quite make it to a double, does it? Alright, so get on all this stuff off the back axles and back suspension areas. Oh, don't forget your little rubber bush. When your knuckle comes off, maybe your sway bar, and then this whole piece should come out. There we go. So the fuel tank, of course, is the little fuel pump, the thing that everyone forgets where it is. And there's the fuel tank. So that's the whole rear end gone. So now we've just left with the engine. It's going relatively smoothly. I didn't think I'd be quite so au fait with everything when I came straight back. Still, it's going to be a relatively long encounter. Encounter? What the hell? Due to the auction and everything as well. So I might make this a two-parter, because it feels a bit stressful sometimes trying to make the second half swift instead of just relaxing through it. So, yeah, this is the yo-yo moment, isn't it? I have to keep putting the car up and down, I remember. So there we go. So we're almost at the stage where we can leave this. We've just got to take out the crankshaft. And then we've got to lower it again, take out the engine block. And that is one empty Mercedes 560 SEC, yeah. Because it's got its own specific engine as well, right. Okay, so there's that. Oh, what's this? Oh, okay. It's just another upgrade meter. I don't recognise it sat there. I wonder if they've added that. I wonder if there's any new customisation options. Nothing obvious. Yeah. Good. Alright, so what the other thing I was going to check was... Oh, look, there's a new door. So maybe this is... it's got some rubble in there, that's nice. It's got some reflections of the... At least this is yellow and black, although I noticed it hasn't taken on the orange of my other changes. This is presumably from the much vaunted Dino upgrade, the chip tuning that they had in the first game that they've asked us about. They said, what do we think would be a good mini-game for this on the Steam forums? And to be honest, I thought the first mini game was very boring. It made you not want to do chip tuning after the first few. So hopefully it's a bit more interesting than that. So there we go. Right, can we click on it? No, we can't click on it even. So, but I imagine that's what that door's for. Yeah, so I think that's all the new stuff that I've noticed. I haven't looked at the shop or anything yet. How do you bring up the shop? T. Car part shop. So yeah, it's not different. Whoops! Escape gets rid of it all. Tuner's shop. So if we put in Mercedes here. No, does that not work anymore? Yeah. No, there's no Mercedes parts, okay. That seems unlikely, but there you go. So let's look at Mercedes. No, there aren't any. Oh well. So maybe that's the next stage, to add some pimpy parts for the Mercedes. What about rims? No, nothing particularly new there. Oh, rim retro paint. Now, I wonder if that means you can paint the rims. Now that is quite exciting. I'm going to buy some of these. I'm going to buy one of those. I can't put it on the car and try it out even. Okay, so oh, quite excited. Oh, they've added lights to this, look, so it actually shines. I don't think I've ever noticed that before. Right, wow, feature rich. Okay, well that's that. I've finished, honest. So we'll come back next time, and we'll continue. Well, we did start the rebuild of our 560. Is that what it was called? I've already forgotten. How do you... oops, no. I forgot now. See the information on the car. No, that's inventory. M, that just moves it. Open inventory, open repair order. I don't have one of those. Oh, okay, but it shows me. Right, fair enough. So it shows me it's a 560. So the other thing I might do next time is pop back to the. In fact, I might do it off air. I might go and try and buy the other sort of Mercedes and have that ready for next time. So thank you very much for watching and coming back and seeing more of the excitement that is Car Mechanic Simulator 2015. I have to remember to say last year's date now instead of 2016. With all the excitement that 2 new cars can bring. Woo! Alright, back to the computer and do the rest of the job. Bye!